Everyone told you China copies Switzerland. Then one Chinese watch beat every Swiss brand at Switzerland's own award show. That's not the exception anymore, that's the trend. Here are 15 Chinese watches Swiss houses can't ignore, counting down to the wildest one. Number 15, Pagani design. Let's start with the one you've probably scrolled past on Amazon without realizing what it actually is. Pagani design, out of Guangzhou since 2012, builds watches that openly borrow the silhouettes of Rolex, Omega, and Audemars Piguet, then backs them with real sapphire crystal, ceramic bezels, and genuine Seiko or Miyota movements, not fake ones. Almost everything sits under $150. What makes it interesting isn't the copying, it's that they're completely upfront about it, unboxing videos and all, and buyers keep coming back anyway. Comment if you own one, I guarantee someone else watching does too. Number 14, San Martin. One step up from that, and the homage game gets genuinely serious. San Martin, based in Dongguan, builds dive watches that borrow Rolex Submariner proportions, but back them with 316L stainless steel, sapphire crystal, ceramic bezels, and dependable automatic movements. Enthusiast forums keep landing on the same verdict. About 90% of the luxury feel, for roughly 10% of the price. These aren't throwaway watches either. Some models use the same Seagull ST19 column wheel movement found in far pricier pieces. Would you trust a $300 dive watch on an actual dive? A lot of owners already do. Number 13, Rossini, Citychamp Group. Here's a twist most people miss. Rossini, founded in Zhehua, was the only Chinese watchmaker exhibiting at Switzerland's own Basel World Fair for 5 straight years in the late 1990s, and today builds close to 1 million watches annually. But its parent company, Citychamp, did something bigger. It bought Eterna, an actual Swiss brand with over 150 years of history, and still owns it today. For over a decade, Citychamp also owned Corum, before a Swiss buyout brought that one back in 2025. A Chinese watch group owning a real Swiss manufacturer isn't challenging Swiss luxury, it's part of it now. Number 12, Seagull. If Chinese watchmaking has a backbone, it's this company. Seagull, out of Tianjin, produces roughly a quarter of the world's mechanical watch movements. The actual engine behind names you'll recognize later in this list. Their own 1963 Panda Pilot chronograph runs the ST19, a column wheel movement descended from the Swiss Venus 175 for around $300. Even wilder, their tourbillon master houses a genuine mechanical tourbillon, the same complication that costs 6 figures at some Swiss houses for under $500 total. Independent micro-brands worldwide quietly build entire watches around Seagull's movements. Keep that in mind, it matters again soon. Number 11. Peacock has been building watches since 1957, and its specialty is something almost nobody else attempts affordably: the central tourbillon. Their black hole model puts the entire spinning tourbillon cage dead center on the dial, not tucked at 6 o'clock like tradition dictates, and the in-house movement stores an impressive 120 hours of power reserve. All of this sells for around $37.50, a fraction of what a centrally mounted tourbillon costs from Swiss ateliers that specialize in this exact complication. It isn't cheap outright, but relative to the competition, it's one of the strongest values in independent horology today. Would you wear a watch this bold? Number 10. Memorigin does one thing and refuses to do anything else. Tourbillons exclusively. Founded in Hong Kong in 2011 by William Schum, every single watch the brand makes contains an in-house tourbillon movement, assembled and tested piece by piece rather than outsourced. Prices range from around $3,800 up to $38,000. What gets them attention outside watch circles are the licensed collaborations: Marvel, Star Wars, Transformers, even a Batman tourbillon made jointly with fellow Chinese brand Behrens. Somewhere out there is a Batman fan who owns a real mechanical tourbillon and has no idea how rare that combination actually is. Number 9. Behrens, founded in Shenzhen in 2012, builds watches that don't just tell time, they perform it. Their specialty is wandering hours and other unconventional displays that look more like kinetic sculpture than a traditional dial. The brand has picked up Grand Prix d'Horlogerie de Genève nominations, putting it in the same conversation as avant-garde Swiss independents like MB and F and Uhrwerk. In 2022, Behrens collaborated directly with Russian master watchmaker Konstantin Chaikin, a designer Swiss collectors already worship. That's not a Chinese brand chasing Swiss credibility. That's independent watchmakers on both sides treating each other as equals, which is exactly the shift this whole list is about. Number 8. Atelier Wen. Wen's name literally translates to workshop of culture, and the brand takes that seriously. Their perception model pairs an integrated bracelet, the same sporty format that made Swiss icons like the Royal Oak legendary, with hand guilloche dials cut in oriental geometric patterns you won't find anywhere in Geneva. It's part of what enthusiasts now call the Pride in China movement, brands that stopped imitating Swiss design language and started exporting their own instead. The finishing on these dials is done by hand, the same skills Swiss guilloche artisans use, just applied to patterns rooted in Chinese art history. Different heritage, identical craft standard. Number 7. Beijing Watch Factory. This next one builds a complication literally nobody else on Earth makes. Beijing Watch Factory, operating since 1958, developed the world's only dual-axis tourbillon, a movement with 2 separate rotating cages, correcting for gravity in 2 directions at once instead of 1. Their dual-axe tourbillon sells for around 80,000 euros, squarely in Swiss haute horlogerie territory, no discount involved. They've also produced tourbillons, with hand-painted enamel portraits fired directly onto the dial. This isn't a budget alternative to Swiss watchmaking, it's a direct, full-price competitor, and most Western collectors have genuinely never heard of it. That's about to change. Number 6. Shanghai Watch. In 2005, a watch brand walked into Switzerland's own Basel World Fair and genuinely rattled the Swiss watchmakers in attendance. That brand was Shanghai, China's first domestic watchmaker, running since 1955, once so prestigious that Premier Zhou Enlai wore one until the day he died. Shanghai unveiled its first in-house tourbillon at that Basel show, and foreign dealers who saw the roughly $10,000 price tag called it surprisingly cheap for the complication involved. Local media at the time openly wondered if China's watch industry had just caught up with Switzerland. 20 years later, that tourbillon program is still running, and the brand just marked its 70th anniversary. Number 5. Celadon. The artisan behind this next brand's dials has already worked for Patek Philippe, Cartier, and Piaget. You just were never told his name. Celadon, founded in 2013, hired Grandmaster Xiong Song Tao, a third-generation cloisonné enamel master, whose uncredited work sits inside some of the biggest Swiss names in the world, and let him sign his craft openly for the first time. The Century collection with his enamel dials runs around $13,000, while the flagship CH5 Phoenix, using a movement from independent watchmaker Lin Yong Hua, sells for closer to $30,000. Swiss brands hired this talent quietly. Celadon put his name on the dial. Number 4. LYH, Lin Yong Hua. Lin Yong Hua just made his second appearance on this list, and that's not an accident. As a full member of the AHCI, the same tiny society of independent watchmakers that includes Switzerland's most celebrated names, he builds his own movements entirely from his own workshop. His accessible entry point, the sea turtle-shaped LYH Voyager, starts around $3,500. Everything above that climbs into 5 figures fast. He's also the same watchmaker who engineered Celadon's CH5 Phoenix movement you just heard about. meaning his fingerprints are quietly on more than one serious Chinese watch brand at once. Swiss independents rarely work this fast, or this broadly. Number 3. Tan Zehua. Tan Zehua doesn't just assemble watches, he builds the tools that build the watches first. A full AHCI member since 2019, Tan trained under his father, spent decades restoring antique timepieces, and eventually engineered something almost no watchmaker anywhere attempts, his own original escapement, called the diaxial. It's a genuine departure from Omega's famous coaxial design, with the locking jewel and impulse jewel split onto separate components entirely. Independent invention at the escapement level is rare even among Switzerland's most decorated names. Tan does it alone, by hand, from a workshop that owes nothing to any Swiss tradition. That's not homage, that's original research. Number 2, Fiyta Omega gets to call itself the Moon Watch. China has its own answer, and almost nobody outside the country knows its name. Fiyta has supplied the official watch for every Chinese crewed space mission since Shenzhou 5 in 2003, when taikonaut Yang Liwei wore one as China's first astronaut in orbit. Over 20 Chinese astronauts have worn Fiyta in space since then. The brand sits under AVIC, the state conglomerate that also builds fighter jets and bombers, and one of its astronaut designs won an actual Red Dot Design Award. Omega has one moon landing. Fiyta has an entire ongoing space program, and one brand on this list still tops even that. Number 1, CIGA Design. In November 2021, Geneva hosted the most prestigious award ceremony in watchmaking, and a Chinese brand founded just 5 years earlier walked off with the trophy. CIGA Design's Blue Planet beat 208 entries to win the challenge category at the Grand Prix d'Horlogerie de Genève, a category Tudor had dominated for years, making CIGA the first Chinese brand to ever win a GPHG award, period. The New York Times covered it. The watch now sits in Geneva's own Museum of Art and History, and it costs about $1,000. So, out of these 15, which one earned a spot on your wrist? Tell me below, and I'll see you in the next one.